I'm Eddie Muller, welcoming you back to Noir Alley after our annual hiatus for Summer Under the Stars. I'm here at Bar 355 in Oakland, California, where today I'm presenting a film that could reasonably be called the pinnacle of the film noir movement. Whenever I'm asked, what's the definitive film noir, which happens virtually every damn day, there are only two viable answers: Double Indemnity and the film you're about to watch. It's out of the past, made at RKO in 1947, and featuring perhaps the sexiest triangle in movie history: Robert Mitchum, Jane Greer, and Kirk Douglas, with Rhonda Fleming in the mix for good measure. Unlike Double Indemnity, made at prestigious Paramount with great fanfare and an A-list cast, Out of the Past was never intended to be much more than a B-plus programmer, specialty of the house at RKO, aka the House of Noir. Mitchum was not yet a big star. Although he'd signed a long-term contract with RKO, other actors were first considered for the role of private-eye Jeff Bailey, including Humphrey Bogart, Pat O'Brien, John Garfield, and Dick Powell. But after a run of excellent films, including The Story of G.I. Joe, The Locket, Pursued, and Crossfire, Mitchum had forged a distinctive screen presence, even if his laconic style was dismissed by most critics. Mitchum was 29 when he made this film, a hepcat ahead of his time. His co-star, Kirk Douglas, was also 29. He was appearing in only his third film, but he makes his character, smarmy gangster Whit Sterling, one of noir's most memorable villains. This is essentially the debut of Douglas's big screen persona, accent on the big. The screen can barely contain this guy's brash cockiness. Jane Greer was fresh off a wonderful role in They Won't Believe Me, the first real character she'd played after nothing but cardboard cuties in minor B films. She's only 22 years old, but under the direction of Jacques Tourneur, Greer is a femme fatale for the ages, right up there with Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity. Now, the blueprint for this classic was an unpublished piece of pulp called Build My Gallows High by Jeffrey Holmes, the pen name of former newspaperman and private eye Daniel Mannering, who was born in Oakland, not too far from here. Several writers took a crack at adapting the book, including James M. Cain, the author of Double Indemnity. His script was abandoned, however, and Mannering, who by this time had written 8 B films, ended up adapting his own novel, with an assist from British writer Frank Fenton, who provided much of Mitchum's memorable voiceover narration. Credit goes to producer Warren Duff for guiding this script through its numerous iterations and for picking the perfect combination of director and cinematographer to bring the story to life. Jacques Tourneur learned movie making from two masters: his father, French director Maurice Tourneur, with whom he apprenticed as a young man, and producer Val Lewton, for whom he made the horror classics Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie, and The Leopard Man. Since he's French, let's just say that Tourneur's feel for mise en scène was as good as any director in Hollywood. The story rambles through dozens of locations, and Tourneur imbues everyone with a distinctive atmosphere. In my opinion, this is the most vividly art-directed noir of them all. And getting maximum moodiness into every setup is DP Nicholas Musuraca, another major contributor to those shadowy Val Lewton horror shows. Whether he's shooting the vastness of the Sierra Mountains or the cramped confines of a San Francisco apartment, Musuraca gets the most from every image. The collaboration of Tourneur and Musuraca defines film noir style. Now, on its release in the fall of 1947, Out of the Past got good reviews, but no one could have predicted the reputation it would accrue over the years. Once film scholars recognized noir as a major artistic movement in the history of Hollywood, Out of the Past became revered as an exemplar of the form. It became iconic enough that Robert Mitchum and Jane Greer reunited for a parody of it on Saturday Night Live, 40 years after they'd made the original. Greer also appeared in the 1984 remake, Against All Odds, playing the mother of the character she created in 1947. But let's face it, nothing can top the original. It is 100 proof noir that goes down, oh, so smoothly. So settle in. Here is Out of the Past.